back, everyone, to the JR Wisdom channel. I want to thank you all for returning, new and old subscribers. For those of you who are just now viewing my channel or viewing this video, make sure you guys subscribe, click the bell, and hopefully you find some other videos that you like in my catalog. Today I'm going to be discussing a topic. It's a very difficult topic to discuss, but I feel it was something that I should speak on because many of you may know someone or have someone in your family, or maybe one yourself, a victim, or maybe dating someone who may be a victim, or maybe potentially, and you don't know it yet. So I just want to touch on this term, as far as to open up a dialogue, so to speak, if it's actually possible. I know it's possible, but as far as the long term, having a meaningful, healthy relationship. So, when I say a victim of abuse, that this is any type of abuse, man or woman, male or female, rape, sexual abuse, battered, even verbal abuse, with someone's self-esteem, having low self-esteem, dealing with these types of individuals. Like I said, this could be whether you're male or female. For a lot of these things, they're traumatizing, especially for children at a young age. The ramifications, as you know, or probably are aware of, it's a lifelong issue or a scar that someone will bear, and it's always suggested for someone to get professional help and things of that nature. But I'm not so much going to go into that. I'm just saying, outside of the professional help, you being in a relationship with this person, the ramifications of all of that, the psyche of this person being shattered, especially as a child, for those years of molding that child, especially the trust that goes in with if they were abused, even, and I'm going to say as far as sexually or just battered, physically just abused, beaten, the trust issues that come along with that, and the spirit basically, crushed. It's a scar to the soul, so to speak. And with these children, a lot of times these children that grow into adults eventually, and this could happen for a child or adult, because there are people who are abused and they will regress even as an adult, whether that be rape or any other type of abuse. They can regress to a certain state. So the confusion that comes along with that, for some children, as far as being sexually assaulted and things, having identity disorders, they will blame themselves and they will go throughout life like this. Their sexual identity, they question that as well, based upon these things that happen to them. And in my opinion, people who perpetrate these acts should be put to death. That's just my opinion, And because basically you're mentally killing your victim by doing these things. So the fact that you have to live a life of anguish, and it may send someone to the point where they not only have to lie to themselves, but they have to lie to other people. It's pretty much a constant cycle, and you have to live in your mind. And the mind is such a powerful thing that you'll convince yourself of certain things, or this person tends to convince themselves of certain things, and they may just have a dual personality or become schizophrenic based upon a lot of these things that happens. Some of these people are extroverts, just to get by. Some of these people become complete, introverts or hermits or whatever, and just don't want to deal with anybody whatsoever, just loners. And some of these acts can lead people to drugs and things like that. So these are some things that it's kind of layers you have to peel back in a relationship, and no one is really going to come out and say. That's the part about it. Nobody's really, when you're meeting them or as you're dating someone, most people aren't just going to come out and say, hey, that this happened to me, blah blah blah. You know, this is what's going. This is my past, so to speak. This is what happened. Some will, but most people want to put the best foot forward in order to avoid being alienated, you know, from someone, and to be liked by a person, so to speak, you know, to be safe. And that's man or woman, looking for someone to make them feel safe, so to speak. I think I've said in my, those of you who might have read my book or my other video, I've come to learn about this, you know, at a young age, because my ex-wife was in a position where she grew up and she was sexually assaulted by her stepfather, as she related it to me. But I didn't find out till years after we were married, and she revealed this to me. And it was her stepfather who had been doing it. And keep in mind, we were visiting her mother's house. I had my kids around there. She was around him like nothing was going on. This man was even keeping my kids, watching my kids while they were alone, you know. So he was raping her at a young age. So I didn't find this out till, even though I kind of had a suspicion, you know, but I didn't find this out till later. So when she told me, I didn't react the way that she wanted me to react when she told me this, because I was in my early 20s, and someone telling me something like this, I didn't know how to deal with it at that point. And I was, of course, angered, in my opinion. This, or not my opinion, but I was angered because this man had been watching my kids. He had been keeping my kids alone. And also there were times when she was alone with this man and basically conducting herself in a way like nothing ever happened. And I'm around this guy knowing the history of what was going on. But she had her own reasons for doing that, and basically I couldn't understand that, you know. And that's where the communication comes in. As far as there could have been better communication between us. And hindsight is 20/20 when you look back at certain things like this and you just say, yeah, this could have been done better. But when your emotions are high at the time, you know, things go the way they go. So that was something that I had to deal with, and I'm pretty sure that's something that she's had to deal with and had to keep it boxed away, and that affected a lot of her relationships and probably still affects her relationship now. And because of that has happened, and obviously if any of y'all have watched any of my other videos, that has led to her mental instability, which has just increased over the years, you know. And that can lead to relationships deteriorating, even down to divorce, you know, based upon certain things, you know. So, like I said, some people, if they don't get treated, or even if they do get treated, they deal with unresolved grief on these things, and sometimes it's just something you can't get over. It's the human condition, you know, as far as these demons, so to speak, haunting you from your past. So, it takes a strong person to, you know, just to answer my own question as far as, can you have a meaningful and healthy relationship? It's going to take a strong person to do that, to support that person. And with that person being strong, they have to have the patience to be able to deal with that. And a lot of people aren't really strong enough to deal with that, or want to deal with that, or even have the patience to deal with another person who has this baggage or these issues. Many people won't. You know, I'm not going to throw an indictment and say everybody won't, but many people won't. They just don't want to deal with it, or maybe they just have to deal with it because they find out so much later in the relationship where it's something that you have to work through. So, and it was the same thing in reference. If any of y'all watched the video I did on, and I'll try and put the link in the description, on pretentious women and the simps who love them. Pretentious, dysfunctional women and the simps who love them. I should have the link in the description. If not, you guys can click on it. Where I discuss a situation where there was a woman who I was dating, and she came over to my house, and she ended up in my bed, and basically came to a point of us having an intimate interaction, and she basically wasn't for it, even though she was at the point of where we were going to have an intimate interaction. She wasn't for it, and basically sent me a long text message the next day, and basically communicated with her ex-husband about, to get his advice on it. And he basically said, yeah, that guy went overboard. So what I found out about this was that this woman was actually a victim of child molestation, and she was also raped as a child. So I basically picked that up eventually. She even has a Facebook page. If she's watching this, which she could be. She has a Facebook page dedicated to children who are sexually assaulted or raped at a young age. And I didn't find this out till later. So I put it all together, and I was like, okay, it makes sense based upon her behavior. But at the end of the day, that could have all been prevented based upon communication, which is what it all boils down to, in my opinion. So communication is key. As far as you having a relationship with someone who's been sexually, physically abused and things of that nature, yes, by all means, it's possible. But like I said, if this person hasn't made it to that point, or if they're still suffering from this unresolved grief and emotional turmoil and things like that, then it's going to take a strong person to support that person and have the patience to deal with this person because of this anguish, these horrible acts that happened to this person. So I just wanted to make a quick video on this. I want to hear you guys' comments. I know I'm probably going to get, some things said about this video, but hey, it is what it is. I want to hear your thoughts. Make sure y'all comment on the video. Go ahead and hit the like button right now. If you don't mind, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. If not, go ahead and hit the dislike button. It is what it is. Follow me on social media. Check me out on Amazon. All the links are in the description. Email me if you have any topics that you'd like me to discuss. Feel free to throw a couple coins in the well of wisdom. The link is in the description. And don't forget that anything lost can be found again except for time wasted. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.